So I've been toying with the idea of doing a Journeyman save where the end goal is to win the top 5 leagues in Europe, all of their cups, and to win the Champions League at one point in my career, as well as the Europa League and the Europa Conference League. It sounds familiar, but I want to add a little twist to the idea of the save. I've also got to win another 5 top leagues and their respective cups as well, and there's no time limit to the save. I also have to start unemployed and attribute masking will be on. So lots of things to digest there, but how are we going to select the leagues to be played alongside England, France, Germany, Italy and Spain? Well, I'm going to show you. So we are going to go to England first and foremost and actually select Man City for this example. And then we're going to go to add/remove leagues. And we're going to tick every league that has a star next to its name. So for this example, we've already got England, France, Germany, Italy and Spain. But we're going to add Ireland, Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales. And we're going to have every single league loaded for all of the countries. And then we're going to do the same thing with France, this time with Paris Saint-Germain. I'm going to go to add/remove leagues again. And we're now going to add Belgium, Denmark, Netherlands, Sweden, Switzerland and Ukraine. But we're not going to take away any of the leagues that have already been selected. Once again, we're going to make sure that every single league is loaded for the countries that have been selected. So now, let's go to Germany. And this time, we're going to choose Bayern Munich. And once again, we're going to add and remove leagues. And this time, we're going to add Austria, Czech Republic, Poland, Romania, and Slovakia as leagues that have not already been selected. So once that is done, we're now going to go to Italy and we're going to make sure that we choose someone from the top league. This time, it's going to be Juventus. Once again, we're going to go to add and remove leagues. This time, we're going to add some more leagues, Croatia and Slovenia. Everyone else has already been selected. And now we've gone to the last of the big 5 leagues. In the form of Spain, we're going to choose Real Madrid. And this time, we're going to add some more leagues. Portugal, Argentina, and Brazil. That is how we're going to select our leagues. And we're going to make sure that every single league is loaded in these nations. But then, we're going to go up here and go unemployed. So now, everything has been selected. We are starting unemployed, and we're going to load up the leagues. And now we're now going to select our manager. We're going to make sure that our manager has got no coaching badges and has only got a Sunday League footballer playing experience. So all the leagues we have loaded, we cannot jump into straight away. We have to work our way up the reputation and go on and go forth. And for this example, we're going to go ahead and make sure we have more mental attributes than coaching attributes. And we're going to make sure that all of the attributes are distributed into the adaptability chart. So we can affect the chances of a manager finding employment in a foreign league, which makes perfect sense if I want to make this a journeyman save with no coaching badges and the minimal playing experience. All of the attributes here can go up as well once we get coaching badges and we get good experience as a manager. The only way this save will end is if the manager reaches the age of 70. So, now that we've decided how the save will end, what other conditions am I going to add to this save idea that I've got in mind? So we have all the leagues loaded, we have all of the teams possible that we can go to, but international management is not off the cards. I am eligible to do this. We can manage an international side. Though, that being said, we'll probably need to go to a club that has got no manager first and foremost and with a low reputation, be it being Ukraine, England, Sweden, Northern Ireland, Wales, or any other nation that comes to mind immediately. So, what next? What happens after we get ourselves into our first role? Well, we're gonna put some more limitations on ourselves once again. I'm going to use another save of mine as an example for what I'll be willing to do to limit myself. So for this example, we are in my Everton save, and the only way we can get new coaches is if they apply for our roles. And also, we're going to try and build our backroom staff through this way and take as many of our backroom staff as possible with us to any new roles. We cannot just go through the staff search and just hire the best staff possible, because we want to make this as difficult as possible to make us have the best backroom staff in the league and in the country. The fact we're making everything go through this way to be build a backroom staff through applications only makes this interesting, and honestly could make this a bit more challenging and fun. But there's one more condition that I'm going to be adding to myself to this save idea, and it's how I'm going to scout my players and how I'm going to find out who I can sign. Again, it's a scouting idea. It's in my Everton save. I am not going to touch the scouting whatsoever. My backroom staff will be assigning the scouts to do their assignments, and the only thing I'll do with them is using the scouting meetings as an example to hire players, to find players that we can use. However, I am allowed to go to the scouting center, and I am allowed to do this way. So if we find a player that suits our methods, suits our mandate, we can just look at these attributes from here and go from this point of view. But this will be the only way I'll be signing my players to make it more difficult for myself. And it makes a bit more sense in the long term that we'll just use the scouting center to hire people in the situation. Admittedly, in the save, we've got good scouting knowledge and we've got a lot of good people here, but I will not be using anything else in the situation. I can't go through the player search like we can here, and the scouting recruitment will be set up by my backroom staff, and once again, the scouts can only be hired through application processes. So it makes it a bit more challenging, makes it a bit more interesting. So there's limitations on the save. It's why I'm not going to have like a time limit apart from how old my manager is. And we're going to go from there. So for example, in this manager's situation, he's 35. We have another 35 seasons to go before he retires and the save ends. But again, it makes it interesting, and I think it could be an interesting little idea for where we can go from this point in time. I am not going to limit myself on what formations I can use, because that is just silly. I am going to make mistakes, and that's part of the fun, isn't it? So I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on my idea for the save and what you think I can do with this, and do you think this is a save you would be interested in watching me do? I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on this down below, and I want to hear what you feel about my limitations I'm going to put on myself and everything else along the way. The fact we can only see this much from a player who's in the Bundesliga and has been in the Bundesliga for a lot of his career, because of our limited knowledge of him, makes the idea that we can sign him a bit challenging. But again, it's interesting, it makes it a challenge, and I want to experiment with a few ideas in the future. But either way, I'm going to end this here. I hope you guys enjoy yourselves. I hope you guys like and share this video, and if you subscribe to the channel. It really does help me a lot. But either way, until next time, goodbye, and well, good night.